A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+. English, that's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hello and welcome to A+. That's Laura.
And that's Reese.
And today we're here to teach you guys about the art of small talk.
No wonder they have us for this.
Of
We're
course.
like the best people to talk about this topic.
Small talk? Is that like using small words when you're talking?
No, it's like 哈拉闲聊, just like chatting.
Yeah.
Socializing.
Right, especially when you meet somebody maybe for the first or second time, you don't know them so well. So we kind of use small talk as a way to get to know somebody.
Right.
Laura and I are way past the stage of
gosh.
small talk. We talk about deep things, like how we feel about the world and relationships.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so do we have a warm-up question for this topic?
We do. The warm-up question is, which topics do you like to talk about? Make a list of them.
Wow, I can talk about anything, lots of things. Actually, in Taiwan, 大家都很喜欢什么呢？星座. Like, what's your star sign?
I'm a Cancer.
Oh, 巨蟹座. So you're like a family kind of person.
Yeah.
Like you really are you sensitive?
I am very sensitive. I like to be at home.
Oh,
Yeah, very romantic as
and
well.
movies. I
Movies are
love
good.
talking about movies and dramas because I love binge watching. 我一直在追剧，因为 thanks to COVID, yeah, I had nothing else to do at home. It's like
Netflix.
Exactly.
I like to talk about philosophy, video games.
Video games.
I like to talk about like different places that people have visited. I like to hear their
Traveling.
stories. That's very interesting to me. You guys can think about this question too. Make a list of things that you like to talk about. But for now, let's get into the article and learn how to small talk.
The art of small talk. Warm-up question. Which topics do you like to talk about? Make a list of them.
Good small talk can help people like and remember you. These tips can make you great at conversation. Talking topics. Prepare some things to talk about. You can talk about TV shows, food, travel, or the news.
Did you watch the new Spider-Man movie?
Yes, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, me too. Though I didn't like the ending. What did you think about it?
Ask questions. Questions keep the conversation moving. They also show the other person your interest in them.
When did you move here?
Almost 3 years ago.
Do you like living in the city?
There are some good points and some bad points.
Okay, let's learn how to converse. Actually, conversation is one of our first vocabulary words. Let's take a look. Good small talk can help people like and remember you. These tips can make you great at conversation. And conversation is what we're talking about because conversation is talking to people, right?
Right, but you know, a lot of people, they are super awkward when it comes, especially when they're very shy. 因为很多人很害羞，很容易尬聊，就可能很想知道说，到底怎么样才可以呢？就是聊得很开心，让大家都爱上跟你聊天。Yeah.
Conversation is easy for some people.
Right?
I think for us it's pretty
Of course.
easy. But for some people it can be quite difficult. So what makes a good communicator? I think it's really important, and this sounds obvious,
right?
But I think it's something that people overlook. It's so important to listen.
Exactly. People think about it's all about like talking, but I feel that you don't really care about the other person as much. And maybe the person talking to you might feel, okay, you do all the talking.
I've met people where, you just listen to what they have to say. And then instead of them listening to you, they will just like stand there while you talk and then they'll continue what they're saying.
Okay.
Right? So they're not really listening to what you're saying.
Right. They just want to say what they want to say.
Yeah.
我懂，就是有一种人，他们可能就是不聆听。那其实我们觉得一个非常好的 small talk 就是跟人家聊天的人，他应该是要先聆听对方 and then talk about the things they like or they're interested in.
Yeah, then they'll feel closer to you. I think it's also really important to enunciate. That means to like pronounce your words clearly. Of course, we all have different accents.
Right.
But regardless of that, still try to pronounce your words clearly so that the person you're speaking with can understand what you're saying. This is also very important. Know who you're speaking to.
Of
you
course.
should try and understand the person's language ability,
Exactly.
where they're from, the context of their lives, because that can change the way that you communicate with them.
没错，其实每一个人，你们跟他讲的语言、说话的方式，还有语调都可以试着调整。比方像是如果你跟老人家讲话，长辈，或者是跟小朋友讲话 ，like to kids, you're like 要乖乖哟 you have like this baby voice because they probably think, okay, you're like a big sister talking to me.
Yeah, if you're speaking to somebody who you know doesn't speak really good English, maybe try to use simpler words.
Yeah, and speak slowly.
Yeah, don't use like 口语, right? Don't use phrases and idioms. Well, the article tells us now about things to talk about.
Okay.
Talking topics. Prepare some things to talk about. You can talk about TV shows, food, travel, or the news.
Oh my God, these are all the things I talk about with like, even like people who I just met at a party. Yeah.
Yeah, these are good topics that everyone has some experience with.
Yeah.
Everybody eats food. Almost everybody watches TV shows. We've probably all been on vacation a few times, and hopefully we hear about the news occasionally. So, there are things that we're comfortable talking about.
Yeah.
Laura, are there some things that you just would not be comfortable talking about?
Politics.
Okay.
And, like this is an okay topic to talk about. It's just for me. 我其实不太懂运动 like some sports.
Me too.
我可能知道 tennis. 可是如果你跟我聊 basketball, I'm like, or baseball, I'm like, okay, 怎么办? I don't really watch these games.
Yeah.
So I feel like, okay, I can't really join this conversation.
So if somebody's talking to you and they start talking to you about football or basketball, would you just politely listen and say, oh, cool? Or would you tell them, sorry, I don't know much about it?
I'll be really honest and say, 我不知道, but you can like, I'm happy to listen. 因为我会想要听 and 了解 and
Maybe
then
you can learn something.
I can learn something from it, yeah.
That's good. I think talking about the news is really useful. That way you can maybe update your friends or the new people that you're meeting about what's happening in the world.
Depp.
About Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. It's a good thing to learn about what's happening. And I think it's important that everybody knows something about what's going on in the world.
Yeah. Do you talk about the weather?
I'm British, and it's a stereotype kind of a joke that British people like to talk about the weather. Yeah, it's a good way to like enter the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, getting back to the article, we have an example of somebody using our tips.
I love that.
We've got two characters here, Mitch and Bella. Mitch says, "Did you watch the new Spider-Man movie?" And Bella says, "Yes, I really enjoyed it." And Mitch replies, "Me too, though I didn't like the ending. What did you think about it?" Oh, so in this topic, they're talking about movies that they've seen recently.
I really want to watch Jurassic Park.
Oh, the new one?
Oh,
With Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
It does look really good.
And there's Top Gun, right?
Yeah.
From Tom Cruise. That's like 20 years after the first one or something like that.
Yeah, they waited a very long time to make the second
Tom
film.
Cruise, you still look good. Okay.
See, we're talking about movies.
Yay!
It's a really easy thing to discuss because
Right.
everybody watches movies. And don't only talk about the movies
Right?
you've seen, but express your opinion.
Yes.
Don't be a fence sitter.
Ooh, fence sitter.
Do you know what that means, Laura?
Is it like you're just sitting there and then like listening and not saying anything, like not responding?
It's more like a person who sits on the fence is a person who doesn't have an opinion. They don't like it, they don't hate it, they're just in the middle.
所以他就是坐在那个像那个篱笆上，然后就说，他没有什么任何的意见的想法。
I think it's more interesting if you can give an opinion instead of being like, I don't care, you know?
Ooh, and then people will think, 好难聊哦。
Yeah, how boring.
很尬的感觉。
Yeah, have an opinion. Give your opinion and don't worry about what people will think of you.
But don't be arrogant, right?
Don't be arrogant. You can give your opinion in a way that's respectful.
I am the king, so listen to me. Nuh-uh.
Exactly. Well, the next tip that the article gives us is an easy one.
Right?
Ask questions. Questions keep the conversation moving. They also show the other person your interest in them.
I have another tip too with the questions one. I think it's better to ask like open-ended questions instead of like yes or no questions. Because like 如果你只是问是非题，对方可能就会说 yes, no, and then there you go.
That's it.
Silence.
Yeah.
然后就句点了。可是如果你问那种就是像是 open-ended 比较开放式的，你可能说 Hey, what do you think? So that was, I think Mitch actually they had those conversations. They asked really good questions. It kept the conversation going.
A good way to ask open-ended questions is to use question words like why or how or even what.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, those are good ones. Other questions you can ask to engage in small talk. You can ask, about somebody's background, like where do you come from? Do you like living here?
What's your favorite restaurant?
Exactly.
Like near this place.
Yeah. Questions are a really good way to show somebody that you're interested in learning about them. And this is another important point too, right? Keep eye contact when you're talking with somebody.
But I feel really shy when you're standing very close.
It can be awkward, right?
对，我觉得站很近，然后这样一直看，我觉
Kinda creepy.
得好害羞哦。对啊
It's good to keep eye contact.
Right.
It shows that you're listening. And this is one thing I really hate. Don't use your phone when somebody's talking to you.
This is very common though in Taiwan. 我觉得在台湾，我的朋友都这样对我，我超生气的哎 ，super rude。
If I'm having dinner with somebody and they're using their phone, then I will be really upset.
我就会抢过来啊，就是 look at me， 我这么正
Take their phone and throw it.
就他可能就丢在我脸上。
Well,
Okay.
The article now has an example of using questions in conversation. Mitch asks Bella, when did you move here?
Oh.
And Bella says, almost 3 years ago. And Mitch now asks a question, do you like living in this city? Now, this is a closed question, but Bella's pretty good at conversation, so she answers it in an open-ended way. She says, there are some good points and some bad points. And then we can assume that Bella would go on to talk about what's good and bad about living here.
They're probably really good friends too. I can see like they're carrying on a conversation pretty well.
Yeah, I think they're going to get along just fine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's even a date.
Ooh.
Sometimes it's good to talk about the things that you have in common. That's a good way to make friends. So things that you both like. But I like this too. If you're talking with a friend who's maybe closer,
Right?
you can talk about what's different too.
Oh, yeah. 我也喜欢这样子。I like different opinions or even second opinions. 就是如果你的朋友有不同的意见，你反而可以学习到很多在他身上，而且你可能还会问他。Like sometimes if you're stuck or if you're like thinking, oh no, what should I do? And then I'll like ask for Celine. She's very good at fashion tips. 对，我都会问 Celine, 我的好朋友。
Yeah, it's good. I think if you surround yourself with people who have exactly the same ideas and opinions as you, you're not going to grow as a person. So find people who are different from you. They can challenge you and teach you new things, and you can teach them too. Well, that's the end of our day one article about being a good conversationalist. Laura's going to take charge now and teach us some vocabulary words.
今天我们聊到的是 small talk， 那 Laura 我呢，当然要请出一位这个人际关系的大师，教你一些怎么样交到更多的好朋友，也就是 卡内基，哇哦，大家有没有听到这个很 fancy 的人？对，他其实是很厉害、很有名的。然后他还出了一本书，叫做《How to Win Friends and Influence People》。以后你长大之后就知道这本书多厉害。简单来说，它就是让你成为大家都爱上跟你聊天的人哦。那到底它的里面的撇步是什么呢？其实你们发现很简单哦，像是呢。Actually, making yourself more popular is to smile more often. It's quite simple, right? 这么简单，就是你要记得要多微笑，臭逼逼。而且呢 he said, it's important to remember the names of people you meet and use it during your conversations with people. 我懂，我真的很怕有人可能跟我讲话，就是那个你叫什么名字啊？所以你可能要多用对方的名字，比如说 Wow, Casey, I really love your dress today， 或是 Reese, thanks so much for your help the other day， 而不是说谁谁谁。再来呢，就是刚刚我跟 Reese 老师说的 ，Be a good listener。没错，不要顾着一个人讲，对方可能就会觉得说，龙口里供啊。那就会觉得很无聊。Remember, a conversation is a two-way street. 一来一往才会更有的互动啊。然后聆听这件事情是很重要，不是只是一直讲哦。好，我们回到今天的课文的单字有哪些？有 conversation 这个名词就是谈话、交谈。所以如果你要 make a conversation， 就是跟对方有一个对话哦。那如果你是一个很会说话的人，很会谈话的人 ，you're a good conversationalist. OK, 我们来看一下单字例句。I heard some people talking in the other room. I didn't understand their conversation though. 我听到了有一些人在另一个房间谈论事情，但是我不了解他们的谈话诶。再来就是 news， 我们刚刚有提到哦，这就是新闻的意思啦，它是个名词，注意它是不可数名词哦。那通常我们可能又会有什么好消息、坏消息、好的新闻、坏的新闻 ，good news or bad news。我们来看一下单字例句。Veronica heard the news about an earthquake on TV. Veronica 从电视上得知了地震的消息啊。再来就是 enjoy 这个动词，就是享受什么什么的乐趣，或者是喜爱。那注意，它后面要接的动词要变成 VING， 或者是一个名词哦。举例来说 ，I enjoy listening to jazz music。我真的很爱听爵士乐。来看一下单字例句。Alice really enjoys going to school because she can see all her friends there. 有没有注意到这里的 enjoy 后面接的是 going ing。Alice 很喜欢去上学，因为她能见到她的朋友们。再来就是 interest 这个名词哦，本课当中名词就是兴趣、关注。举例来说 ，Reggie showed interest in music, so his grandmother taught him to play the piano.Reggie 显露出对音乐的乐趣或是兴趣，所以呢，他的祖母教他弹钢琴。Okay, right now let's go to our magic box.
Magic Box.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Isaac。今天的 Magic Box 呢，要来教给大家几个实用的片语以及文法哦。首先呢，我们先从这个片语 good at 或者是 great at 这个片语开始。那这个片语呢，表示的意思呢，有擅长于点点点，而在其中的这个 good 以及 great， 而是当作形容词呢，表示有擅长的或是精于什么样子的意思哦。那因为后面呢，我们加上一个 at， 那 at 呢本身是一个介系词，所以呢后面呢我们会加上一个 VING 或者是一个名词来做一集使用。那这个片语呢，其实呢我们蛮常会搭配 be 动词哦，来当做这个片语一起使用。那我们来造一个例句哦。James is good at languages. He can speak 6 different languages.James 呢，对于语言是非常擅长的哦，他可以说6种不同的语言。那如果大家今天呢要表示不擅长于点点点，那大家知道要用什么片语吗？没错，不擅长做什么事情这样的一个片语呢，这个时候我们就可以用 be 动词后面加上 bad， 或者是 poor 后面我们再搭配一个介系词 at。那这边的这个 bad 跟 poor 呢，则有表示有差劲的或者是不擅长的这样的一个意思。那我们来造一个例句吧。Megan is bad or Megan is poor at numbers, so her math is terrible. Megan 呢不太擅长于数字哦，所以她的这个数学呢是蛮差的。好啦，那假如你今天呢想要询问别人时间呐，通常呢我们会使用疑问词 when 表示何时点点点。那后面呢我们会加上你要问的问题哦。比方说呢 ，When did you graduate from junior high school？ 你多久以前呢从国中毕业呢？那如果呢今天你要回答是2年前，其实呢我们就可以说 I graduated from junior high school 2 years ago。我2年前呢从国中毕业。那其实呢我们也可以直接哦，就是回答这个时间就可以了。所以其实当别人问你刚才的那个问题的时候呢，你也可以直接说 2 years ago， 这样子呢也是没有问题的哦。小时候呢，我们也会蛮常问妈妈说呢，晚餐什么时候会好啊？就是我非常的饿。那这时候呢，其实你就可以说 When can we have our dinner, Mom? I'm so hungry. 这时候呢，你妈可能就会跟你说 About 10 minutes. 大概呢就是在10分钟。所以这边呢，我们就是一个简答，就是直接加上一个时间这样的一个回答方式哦。好啦，那希望以后呢，你们会需要询问时间的时候，会想到要使用这个 when 这个疑问词。那今天的这个 Magic Box 呢，我们就到这边了，我们下次见，拜拜。
Review time.
Okay, it's time for our review time activity, and today I've designed a crossword for you to solve,
我觉得
Laura.
很难耶 because there are so many letters.
Yeah, well, one of our words is extremely long today.
Uh-huh.
So let's see if you can finish it.
Okay.
So we've got 4 words and we've got 4 clues, and some of these words will intersect with each other,
Right.
where they have common letters. Okay? So the first clue, number 1, which is going down. Here's the clue. You tell me the word.
Okay.
Things that happened recently. Super easy.
最近会发生的事情，当然就是新闻 news.
News.
N-E-W-S.
Excellent.
So that's going down.
Very good. So we can see that the number 3 word has S in it somewhere. Okay, here's the second one, also going from top to bottom. A thing you like to do or learn about.
你喜欢做的事情，或是有兴趣的事情 interest?
Yes, exactly.
I-N-T-E-R-E-S-T.
Very good. Your spelling is amazing. There's an adjective form of this word too,
Of
right?
course. 它其实也有动词的意思，就是感兴趣嘛。
Yeah, and the adjective would be interesting.
Yeah.
How about number 3, which is that really long word going all the way across? So we know that there's an S in this word, and there's also an N.
Okay.
And the clue is talking with people.
跟别人讲话就是聊天、对话 conversation.
Exactly.
Because that's like the longest word in our word power word.
Can you spell it?
C-O-N-V-E-R-S-A-T-I-O-N.
Perfect. Now we only have one more word to guess. It's pretty easy. Number 4, going down, to have a good time.
就是引桥一 enjoy 我故意乱讲 enjoy E-N-J-O-Y.
Perfect. Complete. You smashed that puzzle. Laura, you're a star.
I know, right?
You guys can have a go with crosswords. If you Google crossword maker, you can insert your own vocabulary.
I was going to ask
and
you, did you
clues.
do that?
Yeah, on Google, there's these tools that you can use to make them. It kind of generates it automatically.
对。
Very useful. Anyway, that's all we have for day 1, but we'll be back tomorrow with more tips about how to be a great conversationalist.
The art of small talk. Warm-up question. Which topics do you like to talk about? Make a list of them.
Good small talk can help people like and remember you. These tips can make you great at conversation. Talking topics. Prepare some things to talk about. You can talk about TV shows, food, travel, or the news.
Did you watch the new Spider-Man movie?
Yes, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, me too. Though I didn't like the ending. What did you think about it?
Ask questions. Questions keep the conversation moving. They also show the other person your interest in them.
When did you move here?
Almost 3 years ago.
Do you like living in the city?
There are some good points and some bad points.
Word power.
Conversation. Conversation. I heard some people talking in the other room. I didn't understand their conversation, though. I heard some people talking in the other room. I didn't understand their conversation, though. News. News. Veronica heard the news about an earthquake on TV. Veronica heard the news about an earthquake on TV. Enjoy. Enjoy. Alice really enjoys going to school because she can see all her friends there. Alice really enjoys going to school because she can see all her friends there. Interest. Interest. Reggie showed interest in music, so his grandmother taught him to play the piano. Reggie showed interest in music, so his grandmother taught him to play the piano.
认识字汇
Ending. Ending.